This time, a standard headline did not awaken the internet. It was awakened by whispers. Quiet at first, then loud enough to rock timelines, fan sites, and group chats all at once. There was no sharing of the clips. They were asking each other questions. And there was one question that kept coming up everywhere. What really happened behind the scenes in hip-hop and love? Rumor has it that the upcoming season will feature a big event. Not a single incident, not a single argument, but a string of revelations that, if true, have the potential to totally ruin one of the show's most popular storylines. Fans are shocked to learn that the identities involved are not random, they are necessary. They have been talking about their past on camera for years, and they are connected. The theory suggests that Yandy and Mendeecees, the pair that onlookers thought would always find a way to reunite, may be nearing the end of their trip. Instead of a big on-screen explosion, there were quiet decisions, angry conversations, and occurrences that were never published on social media. More will be revealed in the upcoming season, according to those close to the production, on what was genuinely happening. When the cameras aren't recording, things get difficult since rumors that their relationship is about to end become more prevalent, and another name keeps up in the same sentence. Fans weren't ready to see Sierra's name linked to such speculation. Suddenly, old scenes are being discussions are being re-examined. Fans are connecting with people they didn't know existed. People's emotions were running high on the internet as they debated if the signs were always there or if reality TV was simply doing what it does best, which is to blur the boundary between fiction and truth. Some critics claim that the upcoming season actually pushes towards change rather than just hinting at it. There are allegedly varied reactions from friends. The stress was allegedly felt by families, and viewers are advised to be ready for instances where the cast may break down. Nothing has been officially confirmed. No one has gone on record, but the noise level is still rising, and rumors usually reach this level for a cause. One thing is clear. Whether it's deception, exaggeration, or the eventual emergence of something real, supporters believe a significant event is imminent. Furthermore, after the season has started, it may not be possible to reassemble the story in the same way. According to what is being discussed, there was more than one significant incident that led to the transition. They describe it as having penetrated slowly. It's the kind of change that you don't notice until it has established itself in the area. Yandy and Mendeecees continued to make appearances, continue filming, and continue performing in public. According to people with knowledge of the situation, however, the energy had changed in private. Conversations that were once natural started to sound manufactured. It was too late to chuckle, and when the cameras stopped recording, there seemed to be silence in the room, where the link used to be. Those acquainted with it claim that producers were able to predict the upcoming season without the need for dramatic signals. Tension was already present. Scenes meant to demonstrate togetherness instead seemed contrived. Even minor conflicts lasted longer than expected. Fans are shocked since, for years, Yandy and Mendeecees were seen as a couple who endured hardships like pressure, distance, gossip, and constant criticism, things that others wouldn't. They kept putting on a united front. As a result, the idea that everything finally reached a breaking point is extremely weighty. Instead of a dramatic breakup, there are suggestions that the upcoming season would show a slow disintegration. Yandy is said to occasionally appear emotionally guarded, choosing her words carefully as if she were protecting something sensitive. On the other hand, while being defeated by assumptions and expectations, Mendeecees is believed to come out as exhausted rather than angry. The audience is expected to discover it soon after the players and their companions do. What actually caused the distance is a topic of debate among online fans. Some believe it was the buildup of unresolved issues over time. Others think that a certain situation forced them to confront facts they had been avoiding. The season doesn't instantly make it apparent, according to reports. Instead, it relieves the tension. Discussions centered on the same subjects and failed to reach a conclusion, causing strong emotions. Miscommunications were occasionally left unchecked. Not every emotion was described. At that point, irritation began to set in. At this moment, Sierra also starts to participate in the discussion. Rumors are circulating that she isn't seen as someone adopting a role or deliberately meddling with things. Instead, her involvement is described as small, almost fortuitous moments when she is at the same place, replies that seem more emotionally aligned, and talks that seem a little more honest. Fans are shocked since Poets believed it had nothing to do with what was said. There are reportedly instances where cast members observe interactions in silence and don't remark, letting the audience form their own opinions. Friends look at each other, and then someone suddenly changes the subject. Another person leaves the room before the tension rises. Those who have heard details claim that the true story exists in these instances, not in authority, but in disposition. As rumors circulated online, fans began revisiting previous episodes, questioning whether indications were always present. Was the disagreement really about what it seemed to be? Did you find the apology satisfactory? Individuals started drawing connections between seemingly unrelated topics. At that time, it became difficult to distinguish between reality and perception. Intense emotions were being felt by both the audience and the cast, who were devoted to the romance. Rumor has it that the upcoming season will look into this, how public pressure affects private decisions. Every action is watched, every word is scrutinized. It is thought that Yandy struggles to maintain a balance between her strength and vulnerability, while trying to prevent speculation from defining her story. Reports state that Mendeecees opposes the stories that are being told about him, feeling stuck in roles that don't suit him. Neither is portrayed as perfect. Neither is solely to blame. According to whispers, the story is still complicated. Additionally, the importance of family reactions is mentioned. Not dramatic interactions, but quiet conversations filled with anxieties. Caution is used when giving advice. Loyalty can be tested in subtle ways. The family was divided not by sides but by uncertainty. Some believe that there is yet hope for improvement. Some quietly admit that when Sierra's name keeps coming up, some parts simply end. It is said that the group responds differently. Some people reject the rumors as untrue. Others agree that proximity can change dynamics, even unintentionally. There is conflict over what should be said on camera and what should be kept private. According to reports, this internal conflict adds a new level of intricacy to the unfolding drama, making the situation appear more terrible with each episode. Plot experts claim that the story's absence of a clear resolution is what makes it more powerful. Conversations don't always end amicably. Not everything improves with an apology. As they see people deal with emotions they don't fully understand, it is expected that viewers would feel uneasy by the time the story reaches its most poignant moments. Audiences are amazed at how real it feels. Despite the fact that nothing is formally established, the sensation that something irreversible has altered becomes unavoidable. It's not because someone says so, but rather because viewers no longer perceive the same link. The upcoming season is meant to demonstrate how rapidly love can change under pressure, how silence can sometimes speak louder than arguments, and how often the truth is not a single, big discovery but rather a series of small moments that finally come together. Moreover, the rising discourse asserts that a chapter not only modifies a single connection but also alliances, friendships, and narratives. Throughout the entire cast, nothing is bound with a bow. Questions remain unanswered. Fans continue to watch, discuss, and speculate about what will happen next because of this persistent mystery. Since the issue is purportedly still evolving, the environment surrounding the actors is apparently changing in a way that is difficult to ignore. Based on what has been said, the upcoming season does not draw any conclusions. Instead, it prolongs the tension, making each moment last long enough to be uncomfortable. Fans are shocked because nothing feels accidental these days. Even the slightest interaction appears to carry some weight. The group apparently gathers in a number of scenes, and while the language is shallow, the emotions beneath the surface seem intense. Someone laughs, but their eyes don't show it. Someone other looks at their phone to avoid making eye contact. Those who are familiar with the video assert that these components are what give the story a sense of realism. Emotions ran high without raising voices, and the subtlety is what gives it greater impact. Rumor has it that Yandy will make it through this stage of the season. She has a distinct sense of control and doesn't appear disturbed or aggressive. Instead, she is described as serene, almost too quiet. Online fans debate if this poise is an indication of confidence or some believe she carefully chooses her battles since she is aware that everything she says could be interpreted incorrectly. Others think that viewers may quickly discover the detrimental effects of keeping everything within. However, Mendeecees is said to be conflicted, cautious as opposed to defensive in the traditional sense. Those close to production claim that there are moments when he seems ready to defend himself, but then suddenly retreats. The story incorporates the hesitation. Fans are astounded by the amount of information given during quiet moments that are just a beat too long. Additionally, whispers concerning Sierra started to circulate at this time, even though there was no hard evidence. Concrete. According to chatter, there is a noticeable shift in her enthusiasm when she shows up more often in social settings, during conversations that others seem reluctant to participate in. She is described as calm, concentrated, and emotionally honest. It's not what she says, but how she listens. It's supposed to draw attention. Some cast members are said to react differently to this dynamic. Some seem genuinely interested, closely observing conversations. Some appear uncomfortable and choose to exit situations before they can be misconstrued. Rather than overt conflict, the family was divided by uncertainty about intentions and boundaries. It is expected that viewers will feel that tension. Fans sense that everyone is trying to navigate gently as these episodes are rumored to air, so they pause scenes, capture screenshots of expressions, and compare reactions from one episode to the next. There are several theories. According to some viewers, the show is making up a narrative. The emotional undertone, according to others, looks too genuine to be manufactured. Emotions were running high in the comment sections as many supported their favorite cast members and questioned the intentions of others. This part of the season, according to reports, highlights how public scrutiny magnifies private difficulties. Every decision becomes more challenging when it is being watched. Yandy reportedly struggles with how much of her reality is her own, and how much has already been made public. According to reports, Mendeecees feels that no response will ever be adequate to satisfy everyone and struggles with the pressure of expectations. Close friends are supposed to step in and provide advice in specific situations. Some individuals believe that being honest will calm the tempest, thus they support it. Others point to distance, suggesting that perspective might be provided by space. The advice doesn't seem to be definitive. When viewers see people heed advice that may or may not be beneficial in the long run, their sense of uncertainty is heightened. Sierra's role during these periods continues to raise concerns. It's not that she intrudes, rather, people react differently when she's around. Some appear to be more translucent, some become more reserved. Fans are amazed at how much importance these small adjustments have. It's getting harder to tell the difference between connection and coincidence. Additionally, family conversations are said to occur more frequently here. Calm check-ins, as opposed to boisterous conflicts, are how concern is communicated. Questions on emotional well-being and reminders about responsibilities outside of the performance. These moments, according to reports, set up the story and show that the stakes are more than just fun. The family was split not by sides but by divergent views on what healing and closure should entail. As this part of the story progresses, viewers are expected to understand that something permanent might be emerging even though it isn't addressed. It's said that Yandy and Mendeecees' encounters are increasingly formal and uncomfortable. Conversations that used to flow naturally now seem structured, almost suspicious. Fans are amazed at how quickly intimacy may shift into distance without a single major altercation. At the same time, speculation about possible future developments is growing. There may be a significant reveal later in the season. According to some watchers, some people think that the lack of confirmation is meant to leave viewers feeling confused. People's emotions were running high because they were looking for answers, but the story was not giving them. Easily. The buzz claims that the audience is kept captivated by the constant tension between what is revealed and what is implied. No one explicitly states that the marriage is over. There is no official title for new dynamics. Instead, the season is supposed to allow moments to stack on top of each other, culminating in a seemingly inevitable ultimate image. The question has changed by the time this part of the story ends. It doesn't matter if anything changed. What matters now is how all parties involved will move forward. Viewers feel this way because of unresolved feelings, unanswered questions, and a growing sense that the upcoming episodes may reveal far more than expected. Because of this lingering suspense, fans continue to watch, talk about, and look forward to the next revelation. The emphasis is believed to change from quiet concern to heavier, more inevitable moments as the story goes on. According to what is being said, this is the moment when everyone involved starts to feel the emotional weight of everything. The plot no longer feels like idle speculation, which surprises fans. It begins to feel personal, intricate, and inevitable. Rumor has it that under certain circumstances, the truth is eventually revealed during a conversation. People ask a lot of questions, even if they don't say so directly. Answers are given halfway through. There are longer pauses than usual, not because voices were raised, but rather because restraint itself became tiring. Emotions ran high during these discussions. It is expected that spectators will feel that strain, seeing others struggle with the decision of what to say and what not to say. Yandy is thought to seem more contemplative at this point. Instead of replying to rumors or defending herself, she apparently turns inward and thinks about how things came to this point. Without naming specific individuals, she discusses self-respect, advancement, and boundaries in a few nuanced but powerful scenes. Fans are amazed at the depth of meaning that can be gleaned from seemingly ordinary sentences. Mendeecees are supposed to recognize that there are consequences to being silent given the conditions surrounding them. People close to production claim that he occasionally acknowledges that stories might have developed organically if he had avoided discussions. His tone is described as being caught between requesting seclusion and admitting that his life has long been a part of the public narrative. Viewers' emotions were running high as they watched him struggle with perception, regret, and responsibility. Furthermore, it is argued that timing and proximity, rather than dramatic pronouncements, make it harder to ignore the Sierra dynamic at this juncture. According to reports, she was present in crucial circumstances and responded composedly while others seemed overwhelmed. The contrast between her composed manner and the attention she receives astounds her fans. It raises the question of whether articulated intention and emotional alignment have equal power. Reactions from the rest of the cast are reportedly very different. Some people openly voice their perplexity and concern about what they are seeing. Some choose to remain silent because they believe it is inappropriate. Rather than loyalty, the family was divided along lines of interpretation. Everyone seems to see the same things happen, yet they come to different conclusions. Online exchanges are supposed to reach a new level around this time of year. Fans disagree over timelines, motivations, and meanings. According to some, the show intentionally encourages viewers to draw conclusions. Some people think that the emotional responses are too raw to be controlled. Emotions ran high as supporters of different points of view clashed. Everyone is confident that their interpretation of the situation is correct. There are also rumored instances where the subject of transformation is quietly brought up in group discussions, conversations about evolution, development, and knowing when something is no longer valuable. These discussions seem to cover more ground than any one relationship. Viewers are yet forced to identify with what is taking place. The richness of the tale, which allows several interpretations to coexist at the same time, astounds fans. Family input is supposed to become more direct during this time. Firm yet non-combative reminders about children, legacy, and long-term impacts. The council was urgent but cautious. The family had to decide between preserving the past and planning for the future. By supposedly anchoring the plot, these moments serve as a reminder to viewers that real lives are affected outside of the screen. As emotions continue to mount, scenes where Yandy and Mendeecees share space without the warmth that characterizes them are alleged to take place. Conversations are polite but distant. Overly familiar jokes are ineffective. Shared recollections are acknowledged but not investigated. The ease with which familiarity may turn into formality is shocking to fans, especially in light of the history. Reports state that Sierra's presence at these periods adds another level of complexity. It's not because she pushes herself that her relationships feel different.